Heads up, eyes open, and fist. Y'all know what this is, how we do this, y'all. Let's get locked and loaded for another episode of Freedom on Radio here at Intellectual Radio on the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. April 2nd, 2025. April 2nd, 2025. Take a pause for the call, let them know where we at and what time it is. And you know what I'm saying? I know we've been moving and grooving. Giving brief updates what's happening in Africa and other places, you know what I'm saying? But we back on location. Mark this number down because we're gonna definitely need y'all with them call-ins and that energy at 708-223-8953. Again, that's 708-223-8953. If you have an issue with crossing state lines, you might want to hold up on this move because we moving throughout the world in the spirit of intercommunalism, y'all. We touch it down to, we might get an update from Africa, Jamaica, you know what I'm saying, the Cook County Jail, Angola, you name it, you know what I'm saying, because the deal is we can't afford to get caught with no colonial borders, you know what I'm saying. Spirit of liberation, the words of Marcus Garvey, one struggle, one people. So again, y'all saying those who, I know y'all, we've been missing y'all. Hope the sentiments are reciprocal. So take again for the pause for the calls. Get ready, you know what I'm saying, with the number, lock it in again, 708-223-8953. Get my coffee here. I want to get a couple of PSAs, a couple of people service announcements out the way. You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna get right into it. We got a lot to address, y'all. We put in your calendar. April 4th is coming up. April 4th. My math ain't the best. I don't know what year this. I'll be kind of hesitant with using that term anniversary, but marking the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, assassinated April 4th, 1968. And also 2 days after that, under the same program, the same institution, that I would say program to an infamous COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, the assassination of little Bobby Hutton, just 17 years old, treasurer for the Oakland chapter of the Black Panther Party, was assassinated April 6, 1968. We're going to be implementing the garden, going to be breaking ground on the Hampton House Community Garden. That's going to be, I need somebody to hit me with the address. I know it's 1100 something. It's right there in Maywood. We moved the garden over there. The flyer, the address should be on the flyer today. We're going to talk about the re-breaking ground for the Hampton House Garden. What's happened? I heard different references. What's happening? That they even went so far as to call it the black summer of black kids, summer of violence, or some term I heard used with the media. But this recent situation down in Streeterville, downtown Chicago, a lot of the youth down there, and we're going to touch on that, your thoughts on it, and why, just we maybe seeing like a rhetorical question, when it's a problem, you know what I'm saying, when some of these contradictions occur downtown, and even the media's response, so on and so forth, and even at the ruling class's own mouth, they'll say stuff like, how it impacts tourism, so on and so forth. And I want to make sure I got a direct message to these youth in particular. I got this call. I need y'all to pay close attention. Got a couple of opportunities I'm gonna push out to y'all, and I don't go deeper than just how the usual suspects, saying, how they address the so-called, the crime in our community. I don't even want to say a band-aid approach, because I don't even give you that luxury no more. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go deeper than top layer. The martial arts. We're gonna be the Chairman Fred free. Let me re-implement that again. The free martial arts program. I need y'all on now. You deal with saying what's happening with that? Got a sister in the house with her, as well as her fiance. We're gonna talk about some interesting. I was just coming. I was in Africa. I just seen a piece also on social media talking the dynamics of hair braiding. We say everything is political, but like I be just think, well, it's just fashion, hair. And I just seen a piece which I've been holding up on commenting about Burkina Faso. I won't do a whole piece on that, but one of the latest dynamics that's been implemented, I heard under the tenure of Captain Ibrahim was having in Burkina Faso about this the wigs, you hear that term, the displacement, eradicating the court system where the judges had, the French or the colonial wigs. Like, sometimes you may see these different images on TV. Why these cats got these, blonde or these white wigs on, and how even some things like you see it and we just after a while you take it as normal, and the significance of that. Why call for the eradication of that? How does that tie into the struggle? How do we view ourselves, and what other dynamics have in Burkina Faso? I won't do a whole episode in regards to that, but I just got some other dynamics about in regards to even how they address him, the uniform change with the youth or the children inside the schools. So your thoughts on that? Sister activist Jasmine Smith, who had a phenomenal event. Was it as soon as I got back in from Africa? Was I? Yeah. And I'm kind of displayed because as soon as I get back in, I was still riding off Cloud Million of how I was half the people. And then we went to a piece about this towing, the city towing, Chicago city towing. When I say the biggest car thieves in Chicago, I ain't talking about these young carjackers. I'm talking about this whole scam, the scheme, the whole how it goes down. And we'll do a whole documentary about that. And so as soon as I get back, I'm in the studio with these young brothers and sisters. I'm feeling good. I come out, car ripped off, you know what I'm saying? I got tickets back to back, but I'm talking about even the politics of that, that the history of that, I say just the process you go through, the meaning. I could imagine how many cars still land, they done ran through Lower Wacker Drive and other places that they get money off of us. We'll talk about that also. But I'll mention actor Jasmine Smith. She the event that was just held about prisoners who were convicted, tortured, and it was in some sense of the word. I touched the event. It was like a reunion. I seen Amara Clemens and so many others. I'm gonna tell you somebody who I'm looking for, who I haven't seen. Who I'm putting the APB out, all people's bulletin out for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting this out for you. Jackie Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So Jackie Wilson. This was the brother of Andrew Wilson, who was tortured. Chicago police thrown out the window. Jane Byrne, former Chicago, they put a $10,000 bounty on their head. They was one of the initial ones tortured by infamous former lieutenant Chicago Police Area 2 and Area 3 violent crimes, John Burge. And Jackie Wilson was held captive. I know this brother. I ain't seen him since he get out. I want to give you a little breathing space, let you touch down. I'm be gone for a while. But now I'm putting all people's bulletin out for you, man. I gotta see you, brother. Gotta see you. He did a lot of the artwork for us. We was held captives, for to get our paper out. We had the communique newspaper that we put together inside the prisons. So we talk about that, and let me get these PSAs out. This nephew, I see you in the building. Free them all. Love and respect. Right on. Good right back at you. Right on. Free them all and free them all and. But listen, I gotta catch up with you. Yes, indeed. Long live the legacy of Chairman Cha-Cha Jimenez. Just told him earlier, we did a tour at the Hampton House, and we just talking about the Rainbow Coalition. Anthony Cartwright back here. Stephen Lynn, keep us updated what's happening down there in Louisiana. We getting that way down there that way soon. We keep you posted, no doubt. Keep us posted what's happening down there. With the Chairman Fred is buried in Haynesville, Louisiana. We go down there every Father's Day. We will be down there soon. Shout out to Bilal Sunni Ali, formerly of the Republic of New Africa, as well as was a member of the Black Panther Party. His train, they just had his memorial service for him. Though he passed 2 months back, I think. And this was I came and that I'm gonna say this. I was in Africa and they had some phenomenal meetings set up for me. And I take my word seriously. I said I gotta get back because I committed to get to the memorial for our brother Bilal Sunni Ali. Had not been the case, man, I probably still a little closer to the equator over there to this day. But this is a tribute for Bilal Sunni Ali. The send-off was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So, yes, indeed, Melissa, I know you moving and grooving. They got you nonstop. Matter of fact, Carlson and also Connor, who's over there in PR, she gonna make sure she took a phone tag with you also. She trying to hit you up while she's over there. Fifi, man, Felicia Williams, free them all. Keep me updated. I got word. Somebody in your family, was it your nephew, your son? I heard someone's going through some health issues. You know what I'm saying? Keep us updated on that. Condolences to the sister. Just went to her birthday other day. Young son's sister. Her son was murdered in his carjacking. That's I'm gonna tie that in with this discussion. I want to have a lot of the youngsters in particular. Definitely. Carl Smith, free of my brother Chim. Love and salute, Comrade Noble. Love and respect to you, man. Right black at you, my brother. Yes, indeed. I want y'all. They got some situation with these summer jobs, y'all. And that was something we used to hear about when I was a youngster. Then you hear about them for a while. And I know the resources coming. It can't equate to some of the resources you can get up the carjacking and the hustling, so on and so forth. But let me say this. Oh wow. Okay, man. Okay, yeah. Okay, gang, son, man, yeah. Keep that on our heart and our prayers, no doubt about it. We mean this sister and the gang, we go way back. Like, man, real talk. That was okay. How old is it? He got to be what? Gang, so how old is he? I'm not saying I got little bits and pieces. Keep us updated on his well-being. It was a status on him also. 16 to 20, I think 16 to 21. There's an opportunity for these summer job programs. Go. Oh, you're 36. Don't say this. I feel that's dating us, showing how old we is. Then if he's 36, tell him slow down. Put the calendar back for a minute. If he's 36, I know you before he was born, so it's okay. That's dating us now. Slow down. Tell him I say slow down. Yeah, he can't be. Tell him I say, man, keep it together. He can't be having no serious health issues now. Man, if he's 36, I don't even want to talk about being your age. And then, Cassandra Greer, go to type on Facebook, go to our inbox. Hit up to the opportunity with these summer jobs. Cassandra Greer, hit it the inbox. I think the deadline is maybe Friday. As a matter of fact, take a pause for the calls and go and hit it now. Tell them youth to get the contact number, whatever you got to go online to get, with them summer jobs, and hit in there. Get them on the ASAP. And I'm talking the youngsters. You dig again? It's I know this carjacking and all, and I don't want to sound like like this abstract paranoia thing, but everything this is all by design. The Grand Theft Auto games, all this is set up for the wet up, little brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, it's a setup for the wet up. Man, you see right now on the YouTube, how they, the different cats be getting indicted on different cases, so on and so forth. I just can't stress this enough, y'all. You can go back, pull up how many times we've been saying this, it seems like more than one generation, definitely more than one generation. Ain't no war on drugs, there's no war on guns, there's no war on gangs, it's war on us, y'all. And again, we're gonna talk that I'm gonna go down and do a live commercial down there in Streeterville. I'm going to the location where the 15-year-old was shot. I try to speak the language because I know it's a way we speak to each other can relate. And I try to keep my ear to the ground, you know what I'm saying? And even the term generation, it kind of varies, you know what I'm saying? Because technically speaking, every 21 years is a generation. But when you colonize, you know what I'm saying? That impacts even what you consider old, you know what I'm saying? Or even the term generation. Brother was talking about how he was in jail, he was in prison, and he 32, and cats call him OG. He said he can understand it. You know what I'm saying? You look at certain prisons in 1980s in Liberia, you say, man, these 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, they run around, they got the guns, so on and so forth, child soldiers. And even on a progressive side, people talk about the Black Panther Party. They say, how was these cats 14 and 20, 15, 16? How was Bobby Hutton? Bobby Hutton was just turned 17 when he was assassinated. He was a treasure of the Black Panther Party. Chairman Fred just turned 21 when he was assassinated. You know what I'm saying? Man, Deborah Johnson, she just turned 19, you know what I'm saying, 8-9 months pregnant when they come in December the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Stan McKinney, youngsters and people, but you have to put stuff in context of conditions and, you know what I'm saying, conditions and also resistance. You had to draft. You had to draft. I'm talking about, it was like a common discussion. The U.S. made it very clear. It was a common statement. Go to war or go to jail. You know what I'm saying? You go back and look at the stance that Muhammad Ali and others had took. You know what I'm saying? It was a different climate. a different climate, and we have to put stuff in context. You hear about saying these youngsters, what's happening, the conditions, what's happening. You have different period. You have reactionary times now, as opposed to revolutionary times. We look forward to revolutionary times, and we can look at such examples, which again, they talking about even right now. I think I can correlate it to when Malcolm X, El Hashim Malik El Shabazz was in Africa, and he was talking about that climate. You know what I'm saying? The places in Africa, the type of discussions that was happening. In fact, when he came back to the OAAU, the Organization for Afro-American Unity, that was like in response, and reflecting the Organization of African Unity. I mean, you had it wasn't the isolated situation. So you say revolutionary periods. It's not just isolated. It was athletes, the entertainers, James Brown, Black and I'm Proud, Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? Saying I'm not finna go cross seas fight kill no yellow man for the white man. You know what I'm saying? Who ain't ever called me nigga. It was a dynamic with the discussion, impacted our relationships, our poetry, our music, everything. In fact, Chairman Fred, one of the saying was the best dressed brother was wearing a leather jacket in the 45. It was a climb with the devil disciples said. We had the black disciples. They work in the free breakfast program. The vice was the free medical center. You did. It wasn't that's that black stuff. That's that political stuff. Our hairstyles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was all. It was infused. You know what I'm saying? You go back and look at it. You can look at James Brown in one period when he had the conch. You know what I'm saying? They don't go to the Afro. It was a different sort of fashion, different sort of discussion. You know what I'm saying? Love you right, Black. Real talk. Whoa. Hey, Melissa, you say they stole your car and kept the license for 15 years. Listen, take your license. I'm doing a documentary about this car theft, this racket. It's historic. And listen, don't be surprised if they target who you was. Because transportation and warfare, how you keep a people colonized and oppressed. The trickle down impact, take your car, impact, you can go to your job, you know what I'm saying? All it had impact every aspect of your life. And a lot of people say, oh, they're just a car. But the trickle down impact, in fact, Bury My Heart of Wounded Knee, a book by D. Barnes about the indigenous people, the native people. They would tell you how they would, with the native, what they call Indians, how they would go take their horses from them and say, okay, you can hold your horse for this certain amount of time if you did this so-called case. Transportation. In fact, when they tell you like a tactic of warfare, dismantle communication, dismantle transportation. You know what I'm saying? You look. That's why you go in the community, like in Inglewood and North Lawndale. You know, to go back in the heart of our communities. That's why the bus routes. It'll be certain like on Ashland. I'm like, why more buses going downtown on a consistent basis as opposed to buses? You know what I'm saying? The availability for buses to come inside to the community. You know what I'm saying? And you look, and then I remember situations where they had them buses running express. You'll see, I remember seeing scenes of older sisters out there, they shopping carts, and they can't go from the express to go from 51st to 59th nonstop. So now she can't, she's on 57. She can't carry her shopping cart of clothes all the way up there. You know what I'm saying? These are different dynamics of being colonized. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, that's how we look at this colonization. Somebody just saying, okay, somebody in this abstract elementary assessment, the white man doing this was onto the dynamics of impact of transportation, your view, how you look at things, how you view yourself. And you had a revolutionary climate in the 60s again, when you was able to correlate what's happening in Africa to what's happening inside the U.S. and abroad, not this abstract, disconnected, this abstract since Africa. In fact, one of the scenes in the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, Chairman Fred Carter said, what you think the motherland may look like, it was a concrete correlation. You had people like Malcolm X, El Hashim El Shabazz coming back into that camera wasn't just for no fashion, no statement, no fashion statement. That was a political statement. He was taking pictures and drawing that correlation. I'm gonna talk about the discussions I had at the slave dungeons. You know what I'm saying? Fort Williamson. We had some real intense, some concrete discussion. I also want to shout out Ernest Krim. You know what I'm saying? This brother, he had a book signing, a book last week. In fact, that's why I met this sister who we're gonna bring on our guest. We're talking about the dynamics of hair braid and so on and so forth. But the history of this brother, he's a social media phenomenon amongst others. He wears a number of different hats. Mike Africa Jr. I was on a panel with him in Philadelphia, and he connected us. So wait a minute, we ended up talking. Tell you how small the world is. This brother, his mother was my 5th grade elementary school teacher. That's how small the world is. And I recall, and I was watching something on social media, they were talking about like the different teachers that impact you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, even Malcolm talked about in the 6th grade how he was talking about being a lawyer, and he remember this white teacher like laughing, like you can't do that. And it's strategic, like even like with the breaking process and who you meet at what period in your life. That's why the school system is correlated. You look at the time periods inside the prison system, and a lot of times, most of the time we get the white teachers. A lot of us just believe that, well, that's the only ones that care about us, so on and so forth. But there are policies set up by the system that they say, okay, they'll get a white lady teacher, they'll forgive their student loans. They do a certain amount of time in the urban community, so on and so forth. And what we have is a reactionary assessment. Your pores are open at certain periods in your life. And so you're fortunate to catch certain people. I was fortunate enough to catch Miss Krim in a certain period, for her to catch me at a certain period of my lifetime. And then to run back into this brother, it was a phenomenal move. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm gonna reiterate them PSAs. Martial arts class. I need y'all to look at their flyers. A number on there. We fortunate to have one of the advisors, from the advisor committee, Stan McKinney. Excuse me, he wears a number of different hats also. Sensei Stan McKinney is also a member of the Black Panther Party. They had they do the martial arts even back then. Brothers, man, I need y'all to follow up. We got this class. It's gonna be right around the corner from Ground Zero, right around the corner from where Chairman Frey and Defense Lamar Clark were assassinated at. The martial arts, I think it's on Tuesday, but Stan's contact is on there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have Stan call in. I need them youth. We need them youth up in there. You know what I'm saying? I want to get this van together, so I'm start doing like a drop squad. You know what I'm saying? Like pull up on these youngsters. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be back and forth with their parents. You know what I'm saying? Down to Money Frazier, who get the farm, the 45 minutes. We laugh about him because he wasn't no farmer. He do everything. He come from the city. He come from a legacy of Miller Frazier. You to my trial and error. Chickens, go on his page. I don't care what it is. Deers, he trying it. Ducks, he doing everything you can think about. You know what I'm saying? I want to took them youth. We done took them youth down there before. So we still working on getting our transportation together. And it'd be like a Jenny Craig commercial before and after we get through them youngsters. You know what I'm saying? So the process, we still not through with them. The martial arts, we gotta grab these youngsters, y'all. You know what I'm saying? In particular. You know what I'm saying? Grab our people, but them youngsters in particular. And then also Cassandra Greer, go to her page, hit her ASAP. You know what I'm saying? I need that on the hit up for that summer jobs, that program. And I will give April 4th, it's someone Reverend Paul Jakes. It's an event at 10 o'clock in the morning. So March, you got for Dr. King. That's at 10 a.m. April 4th. I think that's Friday. That's Dr. King, the day of Dr. King's assassination. Then at 12 o'clock, we're going to be at the Hampton House Garden. I don't know the address. It should be on that flyer. If need be, you can meet us at 11:45 at the Hampton House. And we go right around the corner to the Hampton House Garden. We're going to be breaking ground, setting up shop over there, so moving with that. So we need y'all support, need y'all there for that. So that's my that's our PSAs. Repost them, put it up. Stan McKinney for the martial arts, ASAP. Need them children over there that's the summer jobs program. Cassandra Greer, get that inbox, get them youngsters over there. You know what I'm saying? Hit up. She gonna avoid a lot of that bureaucratic red tape. Believe me, I got a psychological block on that bureaucratic red tape too. You know, they want to ask you, like they want to degrade you, ask you all type of questions. Sister's gonna cut you through all that red tape, gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? We just said a culture for certain things, these youngsters, you know what I'm saying, in particular, because you can offer different jobs, talking about eating right, so if it's not conducive with the culture we're dealing with, that's why I want to come in again, was having Africa's revolutionary culture that's sweeping out of there, you know what I'm saying? It's not detached from the people. You mentioned Captain Ibrahim, man, you can see the pride in the people. They not even in Burkina Faso. You got, they say a quote, they say, call them all the parts of Africa, hey man, let us get in for a month, and it's contagious. You know what I'm saying? They say in Burkina Faso, Saudi Arabia had offered 200 mosques free. They're gonna build a mosque over there free. See, Captain Ibrahim said, no, we good on that. You know what I'm saying, man? And no slight on people's respect to religion, man. I think he himself, I think it's just his religion, Islam. However, He said, no, we got to get these schools, these hospitals over here, you know what I'm saying? And the ante is being up, you know what I'm saying? Because the conditions, because in fact, Burkina Faso used to be known as the Upper Voltaire, I know I'm saying incorrect. And it was like the bottom of the barrel. That's what they meant. Like we can just go grab like scraps. You want some people to do some work for your country, go grab them. You want somebody to go fight for you, they like mercenaries, go just grab them. This man, Burkina Faso, man, land of upright people. And you know what I'm saying? And he was do some, I'm telling you, not to go on a real big, deep metaphysical trip. He born the same year that Thomas Sankara was assassinated. You know what I'm saying? Go check who that is. You know what I'm saying? Man, he was shaking Burkina Faso before. And you look at the climate of Thomas Sankara, it was out in Grenada, you know what I'm saying, at the time. You know, Maurice Bishops and the lights all over the world. In particular was getting down, and you look at what happened. And in fact, they say he just said recently, Captain Ibrahim, everybody tell him be cool because they're gonna do you like they did Patrice Lumumba, so on and so forth. Hey, you on a mission, believe me, it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different feeling. And to have something to be able to give your life for. I'm gonna quote myself. I'm gonna quote Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. One of the leaderships of the street organizations told me in Chicago. He said, "Man, you crazy talking about dying for the people." I said, "Yeah, cats dying for cars, drugs, and drugs. You said something wrong with me?" I said, "You know what I'm saying?" So be at a time where he just said to have to be able to serve the people. It's a phenomenal feeling, y'all. We live and direct, y'all. Y'all come on, call in, or as we say, cub being with us at 708-223-8953. Your thoughts on some of the discussions we talking about, but again, take them people service announcements seriously. I see a lot of people tapping in with us, y'all. I'm good. I need y'all energy, need y'all input. Also, y'all make sure y'all, we're going to set the tours are back happening at the Hampton House. Before I left Africa, I was drained. I was demoralized. I said, man, shit, the house was in shambles. We working on getting the stuff put together to work, but I went through some serious battle fatigue. I got it on my phone. I videoed it. It was so messed up. I thought about that scene in Judas and Black Messiah when Chairman seen the headquarters burned down. He was like, and I was like, I was on that plane going to Africa. I was drained. And when I got there, I landed. My comrade, Kanu's, the indigenous community, she said, you see the tour that Comrade Cool just did? First I was like, man, we done suspended all tours, all programs. I was like, man, and I seen it. I said, damn. And it tripped me out. It was like the movie scene. And I seen a tour that they did. And it gave me a spark of life, because I ain't gonna lie to you. You go through battle fatigue, and it's real. You know what I'm saying? When you get those sparks, you know what I'm saying? Get those sparks. My sister don't invite you on over here. Your fiance invite y'all over here with us. And y'all, we talk about this whole thing, a number of things. So y'all know how we do. We riding. And if you didn't get your license, you can ride with us. And if you feel like you want to ask a question about what I mentioned about the people service enough, don't hesitate, call in, because I can multitask. I mentioned something earlier. I mentioned and obviously say, what they got to do with anything? I mentioned about the suspending or eradicate. I'm gonna say eradicate. And Burkina Faso, the wigs in the court. Sometimes you see certain images, you be like, man, like, why is that? But there's certain everything is political. You know what I'm saying? The position that the judge sits on in the courtroom, the fashion, everything. And you see these, you look in these courtrooms, you know what I'm saying? A lot of places, definitely, you know what I'm saying, in Europe, you know what I'm saying, England, you will see the blonde wigs, but then it's kind of, the contradiction is heightened in places like Africa. You'll say, why these people got these wigs on? And and so what's the significance? What's the significance of the call for eradication of these wigs in the court system in Burkina Faso? That was a time period, like, even maybe late 70s and 80s, where seeing people identify with our hair, and then kind of like what Malcolm X said about the March on Washington. Well, the masses say we're organized and shut this down, and the ruling class say, shut it down. So they can't stop it. So, okay, how can I co-opt it? Water it down, change it, make it something to be. And you see even with the hair braiding, so you know what I'm saying, different than that. Then all of a sudden the Bo Derricks and the like, you know what I'm saying, and people you question it, well, don't trip, don't make a difference where it come from, you know what I'm saying, and anything that we this in our times, it be natural in us, and we don't know the significance of it. Like I tell even some like brothers and sisters in the community, they be out there on the street corner, they bottles of wine, it's all that they do it now, they done mess the society so bad. We used to be a big thing, catch them this morning. They will pour before they drink. You pour a little libations. You know what I'm saying? For those in the movie Coolie High at the graves. As a matter of fact, those who ain't seen that classic. You know what I'm saying? You can't say you're from Chicago, particularly until you ain't seen Coolie High. But Glenn Turner was playing Preach. You know what I'm saying? We pulled the lick out at the graveyard. That the libations. You know what I'm saying? And it's old saying that I may not have been born in Africa, but Africa is born in me. I may not have been born in Africa, but Africa is born in me. I was tripping like this in Africa, certain thing like I was caught myself staring at people sometimes. You're like, damn, I can see such and such in there. And it's certain. Let me say one more thing. This kind of the kind of I want to say one thing too about like how colonialism, how you can how it impacts us. You know, as of recent, you see this intense thing. Like I tell people like how they another historian just tapped in with us, Dr. Khalid El Hakim, and peace right back at you, my brother. This brother, love, respect. He said me, myself, Professor Griff, so many up on speaking tours. We got Professor. Hey, August 30th. I need you up here to help me get the word out. And I miss you, brother. Yeah, in Detroit. I might be stopping that way soon. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to catch. They get me going a few Minneapolis, a few places. Shout out to you, my brother, Dr. Khalid El Hakim. I'm coming out of the store in Ghana, Timor, something in Africa, and there's now when the sister get out the car, she got out the car, and she hunched over, and and the baby on her back, and hold the baby, and the brother, I ain't even see her husband, I ain't even see him come out the car. When he come out the car, I'm telling you, he come out the car, and she hunched over, the baby on holding on to her, and she threw like he threw the wrap, what they threw the wrap around her, and he threw the wrap around her, and he hit it like the wrap, and like a orchestra leader, so like a band orchestra leader, and it floated around. I'm not jabbing y'all. It went around her, and it was in sync, and it hit her. And when it fell down without her looking, she grabbed the other side, she tied it, the baby, they was working in sync. And I was staring at it. And I said, they have our community so much like off balance. I said, like you'll hear people say stuff, well, my mama is my mother and my daddy. That's how they have us, and the balance of our community, you know what I'm saying, of our families, our community, our people. How, you know what I'm saying? And we, like Sheikh Anta Diop talked about how we come from a society of people that can work in harmony with each other. We have contradictions. Don't get it twisted. You say, well, I heard there was slavery in Africa. I said, yeah, but don't never get it confused with this dynamic. Colonialism, hey, so you be battling for rights. Like who hey, we yield. Colonialism got this game. Hey, they get a whole new thing with this here. They got some stuff. Hey, they get through with slavery. Hey, all gut you. The word chattel means property. I was struggling with a brother at the slave dungeon in Africa. He kept saying slave council. I said, no, slave dungeon. He was talking about he had a slave in Africa growing up. And I asked him, I said, your slave at your house, would his child necessarily be a slave? He said, huh? No, I said, why'd you say? I said, was he able to get married? He said, yeah. I said, I'm trying to explain to you. I said, do goats get married? He said, no. I said, I'm trying to explain to you about chattel slavery. You know what I'm saying? The dynamics of the gut, gut you. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole, and I tell you, we came from, one of our disadvantages is we cannot even fathom what this system do to us. We do all the studies we want to. We cannot fathom. In Pontiac prison, in 1995, 94, Pontiac prison, they had a meeting where all the wardens came together, and they came together to break down all the prison cells to be shorter than the average man. So you done studied the height of that to be shorter than the average man, and simultaneously they was doing you were going on visits with this black net, like you go buy a bag of oranges, the black net mask with a rubber grill over the mouthpiece. They say would stop you from spitting on guards, so on and so forth. And you'll be behind a glass thick a big thick glass on visitation. They thinking long range, so now a child sees this. You know what I'm saying? You on a visit. Now you've been in the cell so long. Now you hunchback. You hunched over. You know what I'm saying? We can't even. This is how long range the system thinks. You know what I'm saying? We can't even fathom it. They got us beat on that. You know what I'm saying? But we got to struggle. We got to struggle. We got to do some cold things. Got to become the cold people. Back to this hair subject. We know. I'm sure even this present day generation, we still victims subjected to it. So, not many people subscribe to it. Bad hair, it's the nappy head. You know what I'm saying? And you look and you like I said about this. Why is it significant they call for the eradication of these wigs? You know what I'm saying? Why would they even judge? Why would they have these these wigs that you can clearly see that don't come out at the heads of African people? I met this sister. We was at the book sign for Brother Ernest Krim, and her thing is hair braiding. Mm-hmm. And you do with youth and y'all. So explain us. First of all, welcome to our Freedom on Radio. I'm glad y'all came out, brother. What's your name? Marcel. This is a fiance. Pleasure to meet you, brother. Pleasure to see you again. So, give us why was this initiated? What's the significance of about hair? What do you have going on? And the age ranges is give us the insight about the significance of just hair and what are you doing with it? What are we doing with it?
Thank you very much, Chairman, for inviting me. I am Geraldine Item, and they call me Miss Jerry. And hair is my passion, and so are youth. Um, so my business is the first school of hair braiding, locks, and Afro art. We have different components to it. We have the club itself. We have the Afro art part. We also interact with locks as well as hair braiding. And this is something that's a passion for me because I've been doing hair since I was 8 years old, and I'm in my 60s now. Uh, and I'm a school teacher. I teach kindergarten through 12th grade, and that's all subjects. So I was thinking, okay, how can I get back to what I enjoy doing and what I've done for so many years and sometimes for free? That's how you know what your passion is because it's something that you probably done for free. For those who might be seeking,
telltale sign to find out
yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
If you've done it for
You done
free,
for free, yeah,
that's probably your passion,
yeah.
and you love doing it, and it makes you happy. So I'm also a minister on the spiritual side. Me and Brother Marcel, we're both ministers, spiritual ministers. Nothing against religion. Um, I was a chaplain a couple of years ago, and man, what haven't I done? But I've stuck to hair the longest. So rather than take that to the grave, I decided I'm going to pass this down. Since I love youth and I love hair, what can I do? So I came up with stick to what you do best. And I'm a Jill of a lot of trade, but I need to master something.
Mhm.
So that's what I want to do. I want to pass this down to the youth. Um, the ages are from 8 to 18 with adults in mind also, not excluding the adults, but in the summer, we're going to have the youth to join us so that they can learn the techniques, the tips, the techniques, and the styling and what to do and how to do customer service and how to greet your customers. All those things are important. The theory, the aesthetics, the disinfection. Some people drop combs and pick it up and put it right back in their hair. That's a no-no because a lot of people wonder, like, what happened? What's going on? Why is my hair falling out? If you mistreat your hair, then your hair will soon leave you, just like a relationship. So what you need to do is learn the dynamics. It's not just sit down and braid hair. There's different things to that. I had a young lady that came to me one time. I'm gonna share this story with you, and she wanted me to relax her hair. In the cosmetology world, we don't say perm; it's relax. white people they perm their hair. Okay, for those out there who are cosmetologists, in which I am. I'm a barber and a hair braiding instructor. So she came to me and she wanted me to relax her hair. And of course, you don't sit down, like I said, and just start braiding. There's so much more to it. There's a spiritual element in braiding. It's not just braiding. Our hair is a connection to the Most High. There's like antennas. That's why they curl up. They not. It's not nappy. It's curly. The curlier it is, some people say the nappier it is. But that's what really kinky hair is. It's curly hair, super super curlier, curly curly curly. So anyway, she sat down. Getting back to the story, and I started to inspect her scalp, which I'm going to be teaching that as well to the youth. I hate to see them bored, so they need something to do. They need something to channel their energy to. I went to inspecting her hair, and you all know the terminology. We have to do the panels, the 4 panels. Went to inspecting it.
No. Forgive us. And all us don't know the term. Okay, for enlighten the panels.
Yes, the panels. There are 4 panels, and you have to divide. You have to divide those panels, and that's how you start out. Because you need to know what it is beneath that hair. So you have to dig in there and see what's going on. Because sometimes you have patches, you have disorder, you have maybe scalp is some conditions. You might even have. Well, this is what I discovered. Let me go back to the story. So when I was inspecting, she had about this size, maybe a silver dollar, a quarter, big size quarter, silver dollar size patch that was nothing was there. It was just bald. And I said, hey, you got a patch back here. There's nothing there. It was smooth as a baby's bottom. And she said, no, I didn't know I had that. And she said, well, can you still just go ahead and do my hair? I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that because that'll fall back on me. And then she'll say I brought her hair out. So she said, okay, well, I know, I recognize it. I see it. Thank you for showing me. But I still want my hair perm. And of course, sometimes you need that money, but all money ain't good money. So I said, no, I can't. I have to refuse that service. You need to go see a doctor, have that checked out, see where is it coming from? Why? Sometimes it's medication. Sometimes it's your nerve. Sometimes it's so many different things. So I teach that. But most importantly, I also we do a journey. We travel from Africa, the motherland. We start at Egypt. So I'm not just teaching them how to braid hair, how to start locks. What about Afro art? I'm teaching them about the journey so that they can know the significance of this art. This is an art. This is special art, and it's ours. So we're going to journey from Africa. We starting in Egypt, and we're going to break that down and plant some seeds talking about braids and locks and how they started way back then from Egypt. And then we're going to journey on, go to Africa and come on down. And we're going to explore. What are you exploring? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to explore different continents of Africa because all of that entails hair braiding and locks. And while we're talking about it, we're going to tap into slavery and different things. So this is a way, it's a method and a technique of getting them through history with the theme of hair braiding, locks, and Afro art. So that's what this is about. It's not just, oh, she's just doing some hair braiding. No, it's deeper than that. I've been exploring history and maybe 10 years now. I learned about myself and my culture and my people when I started seminary school. And that's sad to say. All we had was MLK, Rosa Parks, and Harriet Tubman. It was not a lot of history out there. And now they're talking about just erasing that thing, just erasing all of that, eliminating our history. But no, we have to find different techniques and methods to getting them, our children, that's our future. We have to get them and get their attention some kind of way. Find your theme and then start to plant that into your history. And that's what I do. That's what I do. So we're going to come on through Africa. I'm going to tell them about how the seeds were planted inside of the braids, how the parts, different parts were not just parts. These parts to the left, to the right, go around, circle here. All those designs that you see in these braids that you when you walk down the street, when you go in the store and different things like that, those things meant something and they still can today. It was telling them that those were maps. Those were maps. Go this way to freedom. Take a left here, turn right, go around. See, they meant something. They're not just what people say, oh, they're just some braids. And then we still see it today from Egypt through Africa and now into the Americas. So that's what I want to take them on a journey so that they can know their history, but not just history. They need to know this stuff. We're not finna eliminate history. It's not finna happen, not on my watch. So people, my people, find ways to still let these children know what's happening. Some people don't know. How do I start talking about history with my children? How do I do it? There are so many creative ways you can introduce them to history. So that's what they're going to know. They're going to know a lot about what went down. But of course, you have to be careful. I understand that. You have to be very, very careful. You got kindergarten, first grade. Yeah, you can give them a little basics, a little bit here and there, certain things. You have to be careful. I understand that. But those older children, they're out here wilding out because they don't know who they are. It's deeper than just on the surface. It's deeper than, okay, they downtown clowning. They out here breaking in cars and stuff like that. These kids are mad. They have nowhere to go. They can't even be kids anymore. They out in the street just wild. It's just they don't know what to do with themselves. It's our jobs. It's our job to give them some things to do with their time. They have that energy just standing there stagnant, and they need something to do. So I'm playing my part, and I think that you should too.
Right on, right on. Yo, we live and direct here, Freedom on Radio and Intellectual Radio. I know y'all got some questions. Y'all feel free to call in. I think it's 708-223-8953. I know we got some. I'm on live on YouTube also at Chairman Fred Jr., Chairman Fred Jr. My brother, if you want to add anything, feel free to tap in with us. I'm gonna ask you a question too, though. Intellectual Radio. Okay, yes. What show? This is Chairman Fred. How can we help? Hello. I think we got two different shows called in. But still, y'all feel free to call in 708-223-8953. Which what's some of the what have you witnessed simply like that's something that people can see that may be elementary. That's anything with our people in particular is always trying to be simplified. That's just food. That's just martial arts. Just I tell you, you can look at capoeira this in Brazil, the art form to it. You get the significance of food. I was just in Africa, the difference between the fufu and the banku. You know what I'm saying? And like people try, they say when they you can tell a fufu is different when it's handmade as opposed to not it's machine made. I'm proposing to both of y'all. What else? Like, and it also been said like the barber shop and the beauty shop. It's like our therapeutic session. We go sit down. That's our couch. Our psychiatrist. You know. And what are some of the like experiences y'all had? You know what I'm saying? Seeing people that you know what I'm saying like I would just get in the chair. You know, the hair deal. What are some of the good, bad, and different? What people you know what I'm saying came out with I was dealing with this, so on and so forth. What some examples of that being our couch?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. That's a good question. Well, like I said before, I've been doing hair over 50 years. Um, but when they sit in that chair, especially if they're comfortable, they should be made to feel comfortable. Not somebody standing over their head talking about nothingness and doing too much and different things like that. You should set the tone. The atmosphere means a lot. And when they are comfortable, they'll start to tell you things. It is like coming to a psychiatrist. If you're doing it right and they are made to feel comfortable and you have that confidence about yourself when you start, they're going to know if you're professional or not. So they have told me things like, man, it's confidential. A lot of it is confidential. But even the quietest clients sometimes have told some things where I'm like, after I'm done, I'm like, oh my God, wow, interesting. So they really confide in you, and yeah. So in the summer, I feel like, I'm seeing in my vision, I see youth having something to do and raising money, because like now they say, well, you can't punch the clock until you're 16 or you're 17 or 18 or whatever. These 13, 14, and 15-year-olds, they're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready.
Yeah.
They need to have some money too,
Yeah.
and different things. They
Yeah.
like gym shoes and different things
Yeah.
like that. Some of their parents can't even afford it.
Yeah.
So now they can have their own little side hustle.
Yeah.
And I believe in that. I believe in creating entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They need to be young entrepreneurs. We need some of those. But I also advise them, don't sit down and do nothing to nobody's hair or head unless you have an adult right there, because they can get kind of lured into some other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and definitely boys are also braiding now. And I've had some of my male students, um, sixth, seventh, eighth graders say, Miss Jerry, I want to do locks. I want to do locks because my uncle be trying to get me to lock his hair, and I don't know what I'm doing and things like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you could do that too. So we're not just trying to make this entrepreneur thing just for just one category. It's only for the little girls and stuff like that, or grown women or something. I'm ready to open this up to everybody who wants to learn. I'm teaching the basics. We talk about the care, the maintenance, and different things like that. I started my own locks when I broke my arm. So and it's low maintenance. It tells a story. Just like now, when I walk down the street and I see somebody with braids coming towards me or maybe in front of me walking, man, I really examine it and look at it in a different way. And that's what I feel like you'll start to do too once you start really learning uh, deeper and deeper about the art.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful art.
Yeah. Say anything, bro? You want to add?
Well, in my learning of hair braids and locks and Afro arts, I see a lot of people come in and out of those chairs. And one thing I did experience is they learning something about themselves.
Yeah.
As far as their hair, their maintenance, they learning something that they didn't even know when they came to the shop. So they didn't know nothing about parting their hair. They didn't know the how they can learn how to lock their hair in and use different chemicals and what chemicals not to use for their hair.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is important when you're dealing with your head,
Yeah.
especially when you're putting when you're not doing Afro art and you're not doing braids and you're putting weave in your hair and putting glue and stuff in your hair. All that stuff means something.
Yeah.
We
Dangerous
as
too.
African, we as Black Africa use stuff that the European want us to use, like their glue. A lot of people don't know what their glue is made out of. And they use it for their hair, and then they wonder why their hair can't grow in that spot where they put their glue at. So dealing with braids, and the braids is is the most common thing that's going on now. A lot of people wearing braids, a lot of people wearing locks.
Going
But that's the
natural.
style. That's the natural. The
Yeah, they
natural.
go
That's the
natural.
style what everybody's going to.
Mm.
Easy maintaining, and then you're learning about it. So you're not only getting your hair done, you're learning how to maintain your hair. You learn how to take care of your hair. You're learning the what kind of product to use in your hair. So
That's the name. That's the natural. That's the thing right now. Going natural is pretty much what's happening now. People want to kind of conform away from the traditional European look and just become themselves and be who they are. Once you learn who you are, you're not going to want to look like a European from the back. I'm. It's been many a times where I'm walking past somebody and they got hair and extension weaves way down to their ankles and stuff like that. And you should be proud of who you are. Learn who you are and embrace that and love on yourself and whatever the Most High has given you. Be that. Don't try to conform to your oppressors.
It's just, and it's a sign of the times too. You can reflect where we at. You can look at music or terms that we're using, fashion, and even hair. Let's see where we at. I just get an analogy about like even with James Brown. They don't stay in the game. He talks about like he had James Brown had a whole totally different song planned at first before voices such as H.R. Brown. I know it's a man, Juvenile Mean, really drove out on him with the pressure on, you know what I'm saying? And said, you better go back in the studio with this garbage. He came back out and said, I'm black and I'm proud. And just how we, how we view ourselves, that pride, you could, and it's something how, it's like a double-edged sword, something that could be seen as ugly during one period of time, you know what I'm saying, or if you're embarrassed of it, that have that pride in it, you mentioned earlier about even the hair, the different designs, and how things may be just natural to us, but like even how we would utilize it. Like, I've seen like doing chattel slavery, how even doing skate routes, how
That's
we,
right.
the hair braiding, and like even to keep food within bed, beads of rice inside the hair, you know what I'm saying, for the long routes, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And it's a pro and a con how we adapt so well. Sometimes we can just adapt and we say, okay, it's supposed to fight, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But it's a pro and a con. It's something.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal. And I can't stress enough. Like every dynamic from our food to martial arts. I'm plugging this martial arts program again with Sensei Stan McKinney. Y'all make sure y'all get that number up there, fly and call him. I'll make sure you give them his contact information also.
Okay.
But everything, you know what I'm saying. So, and even hair, you really can they have us. That's the day of this system. This ruling class. I have it like it's right in your face, like it's detached, like it's like you say, like it's not a part of us. But you, and it's really in your face. It is a part of us, and who who cooks your food, how you feel. I came back from Africa. I ran to some store and my stomach. I felt guilty. I feel nasty. Some stuff I ate, But the hair, the whole process of it, and just stuff that you would dismiss. And I remember as a youngster. I recall us brothers. We going. Oh, I can't remember the sister's name. She's on Carpenter, walking distance. And I just remember that scene of I remember us like back then. This back then giving her I think $10.50 like and it was like lines of brothers. So I can imagine what she made that day. I remember going over there to get our hair braided and the pride and and us comparing our how the growth. I remember going to get the sofa 8 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I remember and coming in. Yeah, and people what that smell in y'all. But you like my hair, our antennas, it's gonna grow, and like the competition we had with other brothers. I'm 13, 12, 13 years old. We the competition with others about have to grow, and just that scene, her on that porch braiding hair. The whole communalism that went with that, I'm talking about I'm just flashing back the double Dutch rope that they're playing, the communalism, and that particular candy store. All of that's a major anchor, a major part of a community. That's I'm just flashing back to that while you're talking about that scene of that, and then even we don't know why like certain things cut us different. Like I remember a barber shop on the west side got shot up, and I remember it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurt. Like man, just had a barber shop like that's like that's our safe place for certain restaurants on Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? Like. Not that we don't understand why a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You can talk about anything and socialize. And everybody got different opinions, and that made it even greater.
Yeah.
So,
your head is getting. You think about that.
That's your crown.
That's your crown.
That is your crown.
Yeah, I'm just.
The main components are stored up here. Your head, your brain.
Yeah.
That's the main component. That's your crown. And that's why sometimes when I call, a couple of my family members that's down, I say, all right, girl, where your crown at? You got your crown on? And I say, okay, well, you don't sound right. Straighten your crown out.
So you're right.
So I even have to straighten my crown out sometimes.
Yes.
Like, okay, my crown is on straight.
Yes.
I used to tell it to my students sometimes, like, okay, wait a minute now. Go back out and come back in with your crown on right.
Wow.
Straighten your crown out. But, there's also now, I know a lot of you all out there are probably thinking about the dangers. Yeah, there's some pros and there are some cons. So you have the dangers as well.
What's the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Oh, yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I know y'all got some comments. Well, you know about what's going on with this hair braiding that we purchased from the beauty supply stores. That's ran by the I ain't gonna say names, right? But yeah, those
We clear.
Okay.
It's humbling and it's embarrassing. We didn't have to do. I'm just flashback on the protests on 47th in Michigan. In Prairie. The Chinese beauty supply store, the sister, that case, and some.
Exactly.
I remember that case in particular. Sister Carolyn Ruff was out there. I remember this vividly. I remember that protest, and that's even like I say, different cultures. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them when we address talk about these contradictions, it's automatically like people dismiss as racism, whatever. No, I tell people like the dynamic, a culture of how we relate to each other, what's respect. I say it's a different thing in India. You see men can walk down the street, they hold each other's hand. That's part of their culture in India. Different cultures, you know what I'm saying? And so, like in our community, we have to have certain that we can. It's an aspect or a trapping of being colonized is your culture. I mean your food, your service. You're deprived of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing. It's not a like you know what I'm saying. It's out of a. You need to have a love and identity with your people. Like even we're dealing with crime and situations, and people say, "Oh man, like what you mean?" People from our own community should be there. The police in our own communities. You know what I'm saying? And even with dogs, you go look at different dog foods, and they specify this is for this breed of dog. This is for this age. This is for this size of dog. They don't say, well, "Oh, you tripping? You must hate Chihuahuas because this brand got for large dogs. You tripping on it?" No, it's just the culture of how we talk to each other, how we deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's something. And to have that self-determination, to have someone in our respective communities, you know what I'm saying, in our movements, you know what I'm saying?
Swag.
That's our swag. Somebody that we can relate to. You know what I'm saying? So even these children, these programs, they don't relate to it because they can smell it. It's like a foreign entity. You know what I'm saying? Talking to them or talking at them, as you know what I'm saying, as opposed, and that has to be acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of these contradictions, like like how we talk to in the stores, especially like the hair, go to get the hair products, whatever, and you go look, and there's a logical question: why is it that different entities, what foreign merchants, what every, I'm talking from the food stores to the hair products. You know what I'm saying? And it's the policies that are put in place, like who gets the loans and the grants to get these businesses and in our community. And if you go into a place and you see certain elements that look like us and talk, I want to be real clear with that us. Like, and Kendrick Lamar, man, hey, clench fist salute, brother. Clench fist salute. That man, I hope this phenomenon keep on going on with it. They not like us. It addresses more, you know what I'm saying? It really, the music industry, you know what I'm saying? But it's more than the music industry. When that term they not like, it's not just simply just as white people, because I tell you, this system so Machiavellian, they say, okay, give them a black face or a so-called, close to a black face. But people to represent you that, you know, that can identify with you, that's a contradiction that we have in our community, you know what I'm saying? And it becomes, a lot of times, becomes antagonistic, you know what I'm saying? We clear about that. That's it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing being oppressed. And I tell people, say, imagine this, flip the script. A lot of people say, well, Chairman, why do you take it as a disrespect? I said, okay, tell you what. Well, we're talking about the contractors in our community. I tell you what, flip the script. Go inside. Imagine the white community. You wake up, you come out, you see all these black black construction companies that they work and so on and so forth. You think they filming a movie. You know what I'm saying? Go, you know what I'm saying? Go, you know what I'm saying? In white communities, you know what I'm saying? And like the hair, the beauty, the hair care, whatever the case may be, flip the script. That's a telltale sign. Oh, you know, oh, it ain't so funny then. You know what I'm saying? Say, oh, you know, it's something wrong with that. You know, so it's just something. It's not racist. So we realists. To be able to have somebody that can identify with us. You know what I'm saying? But it's old saying, every time black folks roll up 2 nickels together and make it a dime, white folks make it a crime. You know what I'm saying? You got, and you see, they were doing raids in Los Angeles. They was raiding people's houses. I'm talking like literally. In Chicago, this whole thing about, it's a brother is raiding houses to you had that license, you know what I'm saying, to braid hair. There's a brother, a big case recently in some school where he went to school with his hair braided. You know what I'm saying? And you would think it's 1920. The decision that came from the court. They're like, just some old, I forgot the nonsense they said. And historically, they run this stuff to us about, you know, it seems like our language, a lot of times it gets intertwined with was white is right. So you know what I'm saying, was right is right. And you hear terms like the hair can't go below, they just saying nothing. New York Yankees, they can, their hair can go a certain length, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they was worried about J.D. Vance at first being vice president. They say Trump had this thing about no facial hair. They said Trump had a real thing about that. And these really be code words. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They be code words. You know what I'm saying? And in the masses, we can pick up on it. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we can't articulate it. So you get us caught up with like, no, you know, you paranoid. We had to come to the grips with Stephen Biko, what the Black Conscious Movement said. Black people in particular must grasp the ability to distinguish intelligence from the ability to articulate. Black people in particular must grasp the ability to distinguish intelligence from the ability to articulate. In other words, you recognize somebody jiving you reckon it's a YouTube video of brother downtown Chicago, he homeless. He said, man, you can tell disrespect. When he go ask for money, he said, no, I'm cool. So he say, you can pick up on disrespect. You know what I'm saying? If you go into a store and some people, if they wanted to, they can't relate to you. You know what I'm saying? You go into a store to say, man, we have certain periods, like people some people romanticize segregation. They say, with segregation, we stuck together. I say, no, not that we forced together. You can see that. You'll be surprised once we together. You will be surprised at what you will see. And so we got our differences, but ain't like Malcolm X say, with self-determination, even our mistakes belong to us. It's a different than that to have to be. I think Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said, it's better to make mistakes and you govern by yourself as opposed to be what you think is governed correctly by a foreign entity. Give me a Chevy that belong to us, don't belong to me. You know, they got a few dents in it. You know, so we can ride on our own turn as opposed to some limousine that I got to check in with the ruling class and say what road I can go down, and then the Chicago City Tour want to come take it when they want to. You know, so just give me my wheels and back up off of me. But I cut you. You were saying.
Well, they do have something. Well, this is what I'm hearing about how you can take the hair braiding, the hair braid, the packs of jumbo hair, whatever, and they talk to me, the young people, and they say how they have to wash that hair and different things like that. But I'm gonna just say, I'm erasing that. I would say don't use it because there's a lot of toxins inside that hair, that packaged hair. It's a lot of toxins in there that's starting cancer. It forms cancer. And so that's why they're starting to come out of those Chinese stores and eliminate that hair braiding thing. There's a young lady that's in Chicago. As a matter of fact, you guys can look it up. But she has this is the new technique that you can use for hair braiding, and it's grown the banana from the banana tree, the root of the banana tree, and that's all natural. The banana tree is it's a natural food, and so they have found a way to make strands out of that, and it comes as long as you want it. They can color it with food and different things like that, and you can braid your hair with it, and it looks natural. And there's also, you have the yarn. There's a different yarn out there for hair braiding too, that's just as safe. So there's different techniques that you can use versus going, the corn, there's different things. The information is out there. You just gotta, just research and find, other things that you could use besides going in there, buying that hair that's creating cancer. You may not see it now, but eventually it forms into cancer. So be careful out there.
I'm glad you. We gotta.
So absolutely, we do and right now we're in the process we are a licensed business, and we're in the process of forming a 501c3 and becoming a school, so that we also going to be learning like our own principles, which are the different logos and icons of Africa. Like you got the Ankh. That's one of our principles. The Ankh, not the cross that represents death.
Yes.
The Ankh represents life.
Yes.
So we have our own
I'm
principles.
glad you point that out. See,
there's so much to say.
No, because and it's important. I can't tell people, like, we had to talk about the good. We have to acknowledge the contradictions. We can't romanticize situations. I tell people, I should not go to Africa. I said, don't get it twisted from contradictions. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be upfront, because I tell people, children, I see, now you got to be upfront with them. You can't jive them. You know what I'm saying? Because they very intelligent, and they'll lose respect for you when they got nothing to do with the real world. This young brother I grew up with, we about 12 and 13 years old. I remember going into his house, and we walked past a bag of toys, and his mother was talking about, y'all go home, Santa Claus be here tomorrow. So I started laughing. He pushed me to the side, like, no, let her, I said, man, she think you believe in Santa? He said, yeah. And I said, wow. And I said, you know what's going on? I said, I'll be saying, you know what's going on in the streets. And the deal is, the stakes are too high. You know what I'm saying? It's a brutal world out here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying this, no filter. You know what I'm saying? But when I talk about the Black Panther Party, I tell people that, man, we have to the good, the bad, and the ugly, the different dynamic, how some attack, how they would create counterfeit organizations. You know what I'm saying? We have to acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have your guards up. You just can't. Everything with us stuff we take for granted. I don't care if it's hip hop. I don't care if it's blues. They study it. They would come in. They would study it. Next thing you know it, they'll flip the script and you know what I'm saying? You control it, and it'd be detrimental. Like something just happened in Africa recently. This big was it a chemical spill? One of these Chinese companies. I forgot what part of Africa. I'm talking this whole river was flooded. It's notorious. They talking about ain't no telling how many years we got to deal with this. I forgot what part of Africa. And but you will see one part, the Chinese company, and people say you will just see one. Oh, they coming in, investing, so on and so forth. And so you have to talk. You know what I'm saying? I can show you pictures of. You can look at like on that Frank Lucas movie, documentary. They showed him in a certain part, the mint coat, nice cars, the women. He flashing the cash and everybody. Then they showed another like 2 blocks down. the people, the needles in their arm. You know what I'm saying? So we had to say, listen, let's have an objective analysis. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tell people, I say, well, you know, don't romanticize revolution. There was no hot running water in the apartment that Chairman Fred and my mother stayed in. They had to go down the street to Barbara Sankey's house, who's lieutenant of finance, Hunting Park, Minister Doc Satchel, to take showers. I said, you have the underbelly of it. I tell you, the heat that comes with this. Like a lot of people say, oh, they when they had the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, oh, why they gonna talk about the agent informant? There were informants in there.
Yeah.
There were agent provocateurs. There are people who betrayed the revolution. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. So we had to talk about that. I'm glad you talking about that, about the hair braiding, how they said different, how they would come with it may like different dynamics that makes me look similar. It may look, you know what I'm saying, but the detriment, you know what I'm saying, that comes with it, and we have to have that type of discussion. You have to train, you have to tighten our political muscle up to be able to recognize the real, you know what I'm saying, from the counterfeit.
That's right.
Yeah, we have to. But sometimes I cut you. You mentioned something about the. I was gonna reiterate. I lost my audience on YouTube for a minute, but you talking about the options with the hair, about the banana tree.
Oh yeah. The banana hair for braiding.
Corn,
and there's a young lady. I wish I had, but it's online. She does have a channel. She has a station on. It's on YouTube. And they could look it up. And it's a matter of fact, she's a sister. She's a African American sister, and it's on the south side of Chicago. And she does sell that product. Okay. So shouts out to her. I'm sorry, I just didn't have her information.
Let me get this call number 708-223-8953. Somebody type that in for me, y'all. 708-223-8953. Comrade Stan. So you want to call in. So it's 708-223-8953. That's the call number for the show. But I'm only can you give your website to call.
Okay. My information is you can go to my website at www.hairbraidpartiesforkids.etc.com. So that is another component that I also do, where I could host hair parties for your kids. If they want to have a hair braiding party for their birthdays or special events for children, then I can come and absolutely do that. So they can have some fun braiding hair with their friends and chopping it up.
Man.
So let me do that again. Please. I'm sorry. It is www.hairbraidparties, PARTIES for kids, KIDZ.com. My phone number is 773-459-9805. 773-459-9805. And I am Miss Jerry.
That's a great. That's hair braiding parties. That's good. Like you had them tattoo parties, so on and so forth. A hair braiding party. That's there. I dig that. Yeah. I just be there hanging out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something like even the barbershop. I'm a former political prisoner. I was held captive amongst other places, the infamous Big Muddy River. We call it Big Bloody River. And they had this policy where you have to put in a request. You have to go once a month for the barbershop. And at Big Bloody River, we had politicized the place to the point that the warden, her name was Warden Hardy Hall in the major homes. They came and they was going getting down on the barbers. They said, "We know Chairman Fred has been over here more than once a month." They said, "No, he has." They said, "Yes, he has." They said, "We can tell the type of newspapers that's in here, the music that's playing." She said, in particular, the Marvin Gaye songs being here playing. They say this, and they told her, say, even the hairstyles are different. They said, when he comes here, she said, the afros and the politics of it. And I remember this one, I had went to this thing with the barbers. At the time, I had, my hair was, it was braided down to afro. And the brother, it was cutting my hair. And I went through. I'm gonna say I'm self-critical. Give my apology to all those barbers I went up on. My receding hairline was coming. I kept blaming them. I said, man, get another barber. And he said, Chairman, it ain't nothing. I said, it is y'all. I said, man, I said, it is you. I said, man, get another one. So I said, the third or fourth barber, it kind of dawned. He said, Chairman, you fought the good fight. Go on and back up. I said, all right, man. I said, and I remember it got back to a point. I said, man, I fought. You know, so I wanted to at least come out of there with my arthritis whole visit. They kidnapped me and locked me up in 1991 after the uprisings, the Rodney King verdict. They gave me a trumped up case. And the appeal was coming up in 1995. I said, I'm gonna get out on the appeal bonds, and so forth. They shot the appeal down on my case. They say I had missed a court date. I've been putting it in. Wait a minute, I'm in prison. Y'all got me. I can't leave out of here. And so I had this whole plan. I'm gonna get out, have my afro. You know what I'm saying? I fought the hell. You know what I'm saying? It was unfortunate. I got out in 2001, so it was a wrap on the afro. But
it got something for that.
What? I'm gonna come here. Hey, next show y'all don't see me.
Receding a little bit back, a little bit.
I'm gonna have my afro. I'm gonna have my afro back, y'all. Cause I had this whole thing. I'm gonna have my afro back. You know, I did a poem. I said, man, I grew up looking forward to Chairman Fred with nappy head, all. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all, when I pop back on, I have my afro back though. But I fought. But I'll trip. But the politics of that, you know. And I'm gonna tell you something too. Like in Chicago. I remember Shawnee this was a notorious prison. This was a lot of youngsters we brought in, juvenile brought in. And I remember that even the different street organizations, even their hair used to be able to tell what particular street tribe they was associated with.
Yes.
And I remember in the pride they had, I mean, as you look at their hair and say, oh, he's such and such. You know, he was this particular organization. You know, the vice lords, you get their hair. And I remember them taking them young brothers, they started this policy where they was cutting all their hair off, bringing them in. I said, wow. And that's part, you know, you look at that, like you look at doing chattel slavery, like, you know what I'm saying, even the army, you know what I'm saying, they shaving the hair, it's like taking the history from you know what I'm saying? And that's really, you look at it, it's like, even if you with horses and stuff, like the horseshoes, you know, it's part of them, your nails, you know what I'm saying?
Remember, they did that in slavery. When they put them in the ships. The first thing they did, pretty much, practically, is shave their hair off. That'll break you. That's breaking you from. I remember one time, my brother-in-law sat down in my hydraulic chair, and his hair is very long. Mm-hmm. And he said, you know what? That's it. I've never had a haircut. It's way down here. I need you to cut my hair. I said, you sure you won't do that? He said, yeah. So I took the shears and I cut it, and he fainted.
Wow.
He went right in the chair. And I was nervous. I'm like, oh my God, he dead? What? And yeah. And I was shaking him and screaming his name. And he woke up. He said, you broke my strength.
Wow.
You broke my strength.
Yeah,
I said, you told me to cut it.
Wow.
You know, yeah, he actually fainted.
That's real talk.
Scared me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We going, man, this hair braiding party. Yeah. Come right, Stan, did you call in? Because I don't know the what's happening? Okay. We're gonna talk with you. Y'all. Okay. Somebody let people on Instagram know. Y'all, we still on live on YouTube. This is if y'all call in 708-223-8953. We have some phenomenal discussion. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get some of these youngsters about this hair braiding party. I want to reiterate to y'all. I want to tie into the culture. I need y'all. April 4th, this thing with Reverend Jakes to get this march with Dr. King. It's at 10 a.m. I forgot where they're gonna be there. I'm gonna post on my page. Then 12 o'clock we're gonna be at the Hampton House Community Garden. 12 o'clock. Then we get a roll out, brother. Shout out! I'm gonna touch down with you before, and also that sad to say that funeral. The natives gonna touch down. Condolences to them. I talked to my guy last night. Yeah. Man, free them all, no respect. Pleasure meeting you two brothers. Respect. We gonna be up. Me and his brothers, man. We just together the other day. This birthday celebration for his sister. His son got murdered. It was carjacked the next day. You know, I don't blame it. I don't blame it on the web. I know there's a certain feeling. You know, that energy is going to be coming too. So I really want to do some preemptive strikes. I want to do some preemptive strikes. Again, y'all. I'm trying to figure how can we make it culturally cool with these summer jobs, culturally cool with this martial arts. I want to make it cut because we have to. Because a lot of times, I know, believe me, I'm peer pressure. Some we go, you know what I'm saying. We have to the climb with certain things ain't cool. Carjacking ain't cool. Taking from each other ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? To the climate, you know what I'm saying? Where we not, you know, even how we deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a different dynamic. Like I say, I use that example. I seen that sister, that baby on her back in Africa. Just had that brother wrapped around. It was like, I'm talking, it like all he was missing was the music. You know, all he was missing was the music. You know, so we live in the record here, Intellectual Radio, y'all. 18. Oh, okay, this was orientation. Okay, I need y'all to lock and load posters for me Friday, April 18th. The Woodson Library, 95th and Halston. This will be the orientation for the
hair braiding.
Hair braiding.
We learn more about the program and the club and the different things like that.
What time? What age?
It's going to be starting at 8 years old. In your 20s, that's fine too. April 18th. That's on a Friday. Most schools are out that day. It's from 10:30 to 2:30, 9500 South Halstead. And also April 21st, which is a Monday, school is out on that day too for most schools. And that's also at the same time at Woodson Library on 95th and Halstead. And when you go on the website, you'll also see on the calendar, I'll plug in some other dates where we can meet face to face and discuss more.
Put that on the calendar. Put that on the calendars, y'all. It's Friday, April 18th. I'll make sure I'll be one of these too. Woodson Library, 95th and Halsted. What time was it?
10:30.
10:30. Then we're gonna be April 21st. We're gonna get the website again. I want to talk to you too about one day doing something at the Hampton House. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I want to go live with this here. You know what I'm saying? This is really something that I really want to see the time. You know what I'm saying about this? I like that thing. I like that I do the hair braiding parties. You know what I'm saying? And when we, you know what I'm saying, kind of break the mood. You know, have our
we can host one there.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah. And really just seeing the significance of it again. Like I say, our hair, our food, all this, man, it's intertwined.
Free too.
What?
Yes.
Y'all hear that part? Y'all miss that part. It's free, so you know what I'm saying.
Membership.
Man, come on, touchdown. Yeah.
Their braiding club is free. No charge.
I just about the images. I'm telling you, I'm thinking, man, I can't remember the sister's name. I remember us walking from across the park, going over to her house, sitting on the front porch, just get our hair braided. And back we had no issue. I mean, I was a teenager, you know, and man, we walked past different areas. It was. I remember the competition. These were brothers, less known as sisters. The brothers complimented the company. Who is? I'm telling you, man, whose hair was growing the fastest, and I remember a situation. My teenage girlfriend told us, "Who braided your hair?" You know what I'm saying? It was like a possession thing. It was like a big thing. Like there was a fight. Man, braid your hair. And I'm just flashbacks. We was like, no, such don't come. And this one, so she was the only one that everybody gave a pass. Okay, she done it. You know what I'm saying? Because she braided, and they can tell. People could tell, like, okay, you got your hair braided on conference, you got your hair. Oh, I'm having flashbacks.
I got blamed for a lot of that too, Chairman. I did. Yeah. And yeah, my cousins would always say, Geraldine braided my hair, and I was like, I did. I didn't do that. Well, they be tapping me. Shut up.
Right.
My cousin braided my hair. I'm like,
yeah. Hey, okay. Our people something else. Well, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Again, like a culture. It's certain, you know what I'm saying? And there's something dynamics that even if a foreign entity wanted to, they can't relate. You know, so they can't relate, and
No.
that's a stage in the game. You know, so that we have to get to a self-determination. You know what I'm saying? You know, so again, and by the time we even bring it up, it's all you know, race, whatever. You know, so no, to be certain dynamics with our food, our behavior,
So
how we
special.
deal with our hair. That's unique. You know what I'm saying? Not that we can't articulate it,
Mhm.
we can feel it. You can say,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
that's us.
That's right.
That's us. That's
But you know they say we the chosen people. Okay now.
yeah.
Don't start
And
up in
yeah,
here.
real talk.
We
Yeah.
the chosen people.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday. I see you just tapped in Najee Islam. I see you, brother Najee. Man, happy birthday to you, brother. We are not the ops. Hey, I don't know if you've been tuning in, man, but man, we had a phenomenal discussion about we got attached something in with them youngsters. This brother here, he does something phenomenal with them youngsters on that basketball court. I'm gonna get myself together so I can get back on and put that that one. I don't know if there was a lucky shot I got on them youngsters last time. I get the ball. I'm try it again and see if it was a lucky shot. But Najee, let's work out something, man. Get them youngsters. Man, we appreciate you, bro. We will get. I don't know if you've been hearing, man. Hey, hair braiding parties. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tie this in. This is a phenomenal discussion, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I got a question for you,
Yes,
Jeremy.
yes,
When you were in Africa,
yes.
did you notice how they're not the young girl, the youth, the
Mhm.
young girls, did you notice how they shave their hair? Some of the schools, if you go to the schools, they cut their hair because they don't want them to be vain and
Wow,
take
yeah,
hours and hours in the mirror and just prepping all day trying to get ready for school.
yeah,
The girls, I thought they were boys, some of them.
yeah.
And then when I seen the dress uniforms,
Right.
their hair, they just have little afros.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what is that about? So, yes, I heard that that's why they do that in a whole lot of the schools in Africa.
Wow. Yeah. And they said the reason they do it
Yes.
because what?
Because they don't want them to be so vain about and taking all day. Like some kids will be late here in the United States getting ready to go to school because they all in the mirror doing their hair and well now some of them put on all kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, so they
I
don't
know.
want them to be so wrapped up into that. They are very serious about their studies.
Huh.
That's the main that
What? Yeah.
nothing comes before
Yeah.
studies.
Yeah.
And those kids are smart, and you know.
I
'Cause
got
you'll be in Africa all
I got
the
a
time.
clip. I got a clip with this young
Yeah.
brother.
Oh yeah.
It's on my Instagram.
Mhm.
Oh man, young Jared. We talking.
Mhm.
We having a whole discussion about. Oh man, I mean it was gluten. The different man. It was. I mean, I had to remind myself. I said, how did you again? Man, yeah.
Mhm.
Real good discussion. I get back. I post on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're very interested in also going to Burkina Faso. We've been researching that. We stay on President Traore. He probably can fill us through the screen.
Look, hey,
Oh, I love.
I spoke to
We
University
love
of Ghana.
Traore.
I spoke,
Mhm.
and they said we're gonna take you over that meeting. I said I gave my word. I'm gonna get back to the state
Gotta meet him.
memorial.
You got.
Hey, you
It's
just hey I just make a joke about. I say some people. I say they see like Trump's work ethic. Now he is nonstop on stuff.
Mhm.
This brother,
This brother bad too.
I'm talking about work ethic.
Y'all don't know him. Y'all better go on YouTube and check
Man,
him out.
and I'd be like, hey, Captain Ibrahim, I'm talking about this stuff. He be, I'm like,
Yep.
I said, I feel it. We fight this year. We're gonna get the street name after Chairman Fred. We fought in 2004. We're gonna get the street name assassinated on. And I be like, what's the big deal? Then so I'm talking to a brother about it. They say he changed all the street names over there. Captain Ibrahim.
Yes, he did.
The street
He took
names.
the colonial
Man,
names out.
And that stuff impacts you as a child. You look up at certain names of
Going
people.
back to his own to Kente,
The school,
Burkina Faso, the schools,
and
everything,
and this even
agriculture.
in the contrast of
Yeah.
even how he did, like in contrast to
Mhm.
the a lot of opportunists in there,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, coming there, they, you know what I'm saying, the money they making it,
Yes,
his image. I'm talking coming there, man. Bring him on.
he the real deal.
Probably come right through your speakerphone real quick. Okay, welcome Fremont Radio. Yeah. Okay, July 26th, we announced. I'll put that on y'all calendar. www. We not. I said I put we are not. We not the ops.org. That's the Najee Islam. Comrade Stan McKinney, what's happening? What's happening, my brother, my comrade? Power the people. This brother here was a member of the Illinois chapter Black Panther Party. I also know Sensei Stan McKinney. Sensei Stan McKinney still getting down. Get this. I want to reiterate to y'all for this martial arts program. Najee, tag team with me on this. I need you to get some youngsters involved in this. So tag team with some of the youth you get over there. Hold on. Let me check. Comrade Stan. Do the youth got to stay in that building over there for that program? Over there? No, you got to stay there. Oh, no? No, because we import. Okay. So, tell us where we at and how they contact to get involved in the martial arts program. Mm. And this is what's the homes? What's the name of the homes again? Okay. Jack. Okay.
So we got we instituted a martial arts program. We got some participation, but after that shooting last week, a lot of the parents are really reluctant. You know, we had to go door to door and knock on the doors and, politic with the parents to walk the children to the building. Everything, it's a gated community.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of internal contradictions with some of the street organizations that are up in there that are, they got contradiction with some of the street organizations on the outside complex. But in terms of getting the youth are caught up in it because the parents' position is the little brother that actually got murdered. He was walking out to his grandmother's car to deliver some food or packages to him, and he caught a 747. And then, like I said, there was a shooting just this past Monday.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work to do, but it is what it is, and nobody will save us but us. So we got. I had some another sister that I'm working with. She imported some kids, so it's not a problem. All they have to do is call me, call my number, which is on the flyer.
Okay.
And we can get them in through the gate because they have a security gate to try to stop some of the flow of traffic of just people just coming onto the property, because that was the assessment that some of the contradictions were that you had individuals that were coming onto the property that didn't even live there. But the program is definitely there to stay. As you said earlier, the location of the housing complex is actually right across the street from the complex. Kitty Corner is Precious Blood Church. I think it's like they use it as a Catholic school, but that's where we used to do our PE classes. That's on the other side of the E-way. It's going back toward Roosevelt Road, but that we did a lot of our. In fact, that was the location where the chairman senior told William O'Neill the only reason why you're still in the Black Panther Party is because of Bobby Rush. And he got out on his knees and cried. That particular night, I remember it just like it was yesterday. So you got Ground Zero. Actually, a couple just really.
That's a site. That's a site where Chairman Fred and Fiscal Lamar Clark were assassinated at.
Exactly.
Ground Zero. That's right around the corner from where the Chairman Fred Free March. So this is some historical stomach ground. These cats gonna be doing this kicking and learning to do the self-defense at, and that's. I want to really get that.
Our state headquarters was on Madison. I was talking to the youth just last week about Walgreens. That's
Walgreens on Madison in California. I mean Madison Western.
Madison and Western. Yeah,
that was the state headquarters.
Yes.
And this year gonna be extra special with this Chairman Fred. We probably for the street sign August 30th. So I'm about in. We're gonna have a whole. I'm envisioning a cadre of brothers and sisters with their gis on, give us a phenomenal martial arts demonstration. I'm envisioning some before and after pictures of them youngsters with their hair grown and braided by then, by August 30th. I'm having some visions, you know what I'm saying? I'm to look back on this day and say, look how far we come. So those who can't see the flyer, come around. I need you to get that number, that contact number. And Najee, I need you to get some youngsters over to connect us with it, and vice versa. We're gonna send some over there for you on July 26th. With the We Not the Ops. I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna throw my gi on for the martial arts program. I'm gonna get on that basketball court with Najee. July 26th. We Not the Ops. I'm gonna sit down with the. I can't do the hair braiding. Get my hair braided, but I'm gonna sit down with the hair braiding program. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some youngsters over there. I know Comrade Kuha, you for some more youngsters get over there. But Comrade, give us a number of contact people can reach out to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
773-317-1837. So that's 773-317-1837. That's my direct contact, and I can get everybody in that's coming in to the conflict.
Let's get this martial arts thing cracking, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
What's the age?
What's the age range, Comrade?
Peter told Paul, try them all.
So you're right. Okay, so you're right. Yes, indeed.
From 8 to 80, we turn our collar.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Well, we in the spirit of making history and taking history and taping history, we gonna make it happen. And even Comrade been consistent, you know what I'm saying? Not only with the legacy of Black Panther Party, also with that, like the martial arts, a lot of times people look at the Panther and just see the leather jacket and berets. It took into account everything. I'm talking about the survival programs, you know what I'm saying? And, even the defense, you know what I'm saying? That was in fact, this comrade here, he's on Minister UEP Newton's personal detail security in Oakland, California. I gotta get back to Oakland too soon. Speaking of which, yeah. And
Chairman, we ran the martial arts program out of the Oakland Community Learning Center.
So you're right.
Me and brother Steve McCutcheon. Steve was
right on. Those about the Oakland Community.
Out of Boston, but we ran with the tournaments. For years that was that martial arts program really galvanized the community, man. We had 2 cadres, East Oakland, West Oakland martial arts team, man.
Wow.
So when we even coming into the party, the group of us from our community that came into the party, we were studying martial arts. We were studying martial arts at the YMCA on Kedzie and Arlington back in the 60s. So we came up out of the Baker, Preston Baker, Otis Baker. We come up out of that legacy, man, and those were our instructors, and that legacy, the Baker's legacy, has been passed on. I had a struggle with Lupe Fiasco talking about his dad was teaching martial arts for the party. I said, no, the chairman was crystal clear. He already had young martial artists. We was flying around that office, kicking and doing everything else, So the martial arts has been well vetted, and as a matter of fact, when chairman found out that the Bakers had opened up the Boys and Girls Club in Henry Horner, and we were having issues, chairman called over there and told them brothers, hey man, hands off that program because you got Panthers up in there. Coming in and out of the complex, man. So that was, I attribute that to, and I let a lot of the brothers that actually came up out of the martial arts program, Larry Tankston, Mitchell, Duckworth, many brothers that came up out of that Henry Horner Boys and Girls Club martial arts program, They didn't even know until I educated them and exposed that it was chairman. That's the only way that program stayed, because we had a breakfast program there. But we had party members that were partaking in the martial arts program, and we had a little bit of pushback. But once chairman got involved and made that call, bam, we had carte blanche.
You know, there's so many different dynamics. You know, like you're talking martial arts. A lot of times people just ironically we talking about the discussion now about like who runs the who the hair industry, the black people's hair industry, and like even martial arts. A lot of times people just automatically just the Chinese and so on and so forth. But I heard this old saying that there's some the role that our people, we got even the martial arts, and there's an old saying, I think the Japanese, the Chinese have said that actually like martial arts was an African art form, and they just preserved it,
Exactly.
And it's so
it originated from the motherland that subscribed on the tombs of the pyramids.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. We were taught wrong, but that was because many of the brothers that came back, United States was into conflict with Japan. So many of the brothers were stationed in the Okinawan Islands, which was colonized and controlled by the United States. So when they came back, because the introduction was Japanese karate. That's why our system is Sherry Goju. But here's the deal: the dude that opened the first karate school in Arizona in the United States was Robert Trias. He first introduced karate back here into the United States. When Robert Trias found out that the Bakers was being taught karate, he said, stop teaching the niggas karate. Now, Trias is a white boy, right?
Yeah.
So when he found out that Baker's name was making a name,
this the Sensei Baker, this the Baker, Preston Baker, right?
Preston Baker, bakersdojo.org. You can go to the website. Listen, even Bruce Lee bowed down. When Bruce Lee would come to Chicago, he would come to our dojo. We got pictures of him sitting on the couch and hanging out. He wouldn't even go with the white boy. Come to our dojo. Chuck Norris, Preston and mopped him up in tournaments, man. Anytime you go around, most of them white boys, and you mentioned Preston, the Baker, they were known as the notorious Baker boys on the tournament circuit.
Wow.
Very respected and feared. Made a name, country boys up out of Arkansas, made a name for themselves in the martial arts world. When you talk about martial arts, even Dr. Moses Powell, Michael J. White, all your big, when you speak of the Bakers, it's definitely ultimate respect.
What is that again? Bakers.org. What's the website?
Bakersdojo.org is our website. So you can go there and get the whole history of the Bakers martial arts. But without a doubt, that legacy, and that legacy has been passed on to us to uphold that legacy.
Well, man, I appreciate you, comrade. Just even keeping that, like I said, because a lot of times people look at different dynamics in our community, whether as I said, whether it be we talking about hair, we're talking about food, we're talking about martial arts.
Let me throw this, not to cut you off, this last thing.
Yes.
Back historically, see, like you said, a lot of people look at the art and they think, oh, Chinese, Koreans, blah blah blah. But what they fail to realize, just as this racist, and I teach my students this, Robert Trias is the godfather of introducing karate into the United States, but he was a racist. And back in the day, many they wouldn't allow black people to be a part of associations. So the blacks were locked out. That's why most of like your movies and stuff with kung fu, they gave that to the white boy David Carradine. That Bruce Lee was supposed to get that movie, but the racists in Hollywood didn't care for him.
That's crazy. The white, he's doing grasshopper.
Yeah, David Carradine, yeah, and a lot of
white dude.
Yeah, a lot of them roles that Chuck Norris got, Bruce Lee was looked over. Okay,
Man, you look at so many. Go ahead, come just it'd be like right in your face. You'd be like, duh. I mean,
Yep. So what happened? There was a lockout of blacks being accepted in any of the martial arts associations. So it was two brothers. One brother, his name was Steve Sanders. He's Steve Muhammad now, and Donnie Williams. They were out of LA. They were Kempo stylists. They created what was called the BKF, the Black Karate Federation, and that sent shockwaves in the martial arts world. And man, them Peckerwoods opened up the door and started accepting blacks. But Chuck Norris was a part of that whole thing, that lockout, man. They was walking around with uniforms, geese on with the American flag, you know. Man, them boys would tiptoe past Chicago. There's a blackout on the Illinois region because they know when they came here, they got their ass swept. Baker's Dojo got a footprint in that shit. Anytime you mention Baker's Dojo in the martial art, if somebody's been in the art for years and don't know them, they've been hiding in the basement somewhere because the Bakers is definitely, you know, they true icons and pioneers of the martial arts world.
Hey man, look here. Hey,
so we got a legacy, right?
We got legacies, man. Hey, y'all gonna get more. I told my brother, y'all free them all. I need you, y'all connected with me. I need you to get our brother April 4th. We got a thing coming up. I need y'all on deck. You, Keely, Larry, some other people. But May 2nd, it's gonna be a major move. We're gonna do a whole show with that May 2nd coming up. And I want you to intertwine with these different forces here. Listen, you're gonna get more than you have braided at this. You're gonna get some history with this here. But I said, it's Jerry at the hair braid thing. You get more than just. You gonna get more than this. I mean, you gonna get more than just on how to fight. You know, so defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? The martial arts here, the free breakfast program. You gonna get more than some food. You get some politics. You get some. It's a whole meal. You know what I'm saying? This coming April 4th, 12 o'clock. The Hampton House Community Garden. We're gonna be planting more than seeds out there. You know what I'm saying? So y'all. I've got the address. It's right around the corner from the Hampton House. You can meet with the Hampton House at 11:45, April 4th. We're going right around the corner. We're going to break ground. You're going to get more of what you came for. You tune in to Freedom on Radio here, Intellectual Radio, y'all. Hey, y'all, man, give my brother my love. Hey, we got to connect up. We got a major move coming May 2nd. We need everybody on deck. Y'all, we're going to get y'all on the show before then. You want to come to the Hampton House with me? We're going to do a whole detail about this May 2nd event coming up. But make sure y'all get them contacts for Comrade Stan. That number, get that number one more time before we close out. And then our sister, we're gonna give our contact again for this hair braiding move. This has been a phenomenal program. I want to give a shout out again to Intellectual Radio in the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. Y'all repost this, let people know we had a whole bunch of information put out here. The Garden, April 4th, get a whole bunch of moves coming in. Come on, Stan, give me that contact again.
773-317-1837.
Say that's the phone number. The phone number to call.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
773-459-9805.
Y'all keep y'all heads. Y'all got them contacts. Also, y'all got We Not the Ops. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work with them. That's July. We gonna get you on before then. On July 26th. Cassandra Greer, Facebook, inbox her for them summer jobs. They got them summer jobs for them young. Go to Cassandra Greer's page and go to Yaya Hershey page for this event for this. We're gonna be talking them youngsters' language about this. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pick up this the real deal. You know, we talked about hair braid, martial arts, everything political. We need self-determination. We can speak to the people on our own terms, y'all. Revolutionary love, respect to all those who tuned in. Let's continue to keep our head up, our eyes open, our fists clenched, y'all. Again, everything is political. So what's the call? Free them all. Love and respect. Power to the people. Free them all.
Power to the people. Free them all.
Free them all. Yeah, we had.